Everyone, and welcome to the webinar Long-Term Support for the i.MX series. I'm Anna Vallaro, and I will be your host for today. Before starting the webinar, I'd like to give you a brief introduction to the GoToWebinar interface. For your information, you are all muted and the session will be recorded. On the right-hand side of your screen, you can find a control panel that you can minimize or maximize by clicking on the orange arrow. You can also set your audio preferences, expanding the audio panel. A copy of today's slide deck is available for you to download from the handout section. And at the bottom, you can find the Q&As panel. Use this to submit your questions anytime during the presentation, and they will be answered during the Q&A session at the end. Here's the agenda for today. Thomas Aubin from NXP, Regional Marketing Lead EMEA, IoT and Industrial Mass Market, will walk us through the i.MX roadmap, its application, and will introduce us to the partner programs from NXP. Then, Pierre Gall, Solutions Director at Witekio, will tell us a little bit more about the collaboration from Witekio and NXP, and also why long-term maintenance is so important, especially for OEMs. Then, he will explain the key concept definition for long-term maintenance, and will walk us through the tried and trusted process at Witekio to do that. At the end, he will talk a little bit more about the long-term support on the i.MX family. And to close the session, we will have a Q&A. So please submit your question anytime during the webinar using the Q&A panel. And now I'm handing over to our first speaker, Thomas.
Hello everyone and welcome to this webinar. I'm Thomas Aubin. I'm the Regional Marketing Lead for i.MX at NXP, and I'm here to present you a brief overview of i.MX roadmap and partner program during this webinar in partnership with Witekio. So, as you may see here in this slide, it's a great representation of all this activity around the electronics that happened since now multi-decades. And you can see here, in fact, the future, how it will evolve in terms of dynamic. Imagine that we have created over the last 40 or 50 years a market close to 250 billions. And for the next 10 years that we are foreseeing, we expect to create even more, close to $500 billion, to reach the $1 trillion of semiconductor revenue. Mainly, this is linked to the fact that the edge intelligence electronics in our product of our life is booming, and we are expecting up to 70 billion smart connected devices by 2030. In that perspective, NXP is designing and investing a lot of different solutions that will allow our customers to address this booming market. In such a case, let's have a look to our portfolio relative to microprocessor. Here is an overview of what we are currently getting in our NXP i.MX processor that is capable to address general purpose type of applications and even more specialties type of applications such as HMI, application relative to low power or graphics or connectivity. We have introduced the famous i.MX6 back in the 2010s years. We have continued to harvest this portfolio by creating a new set of family with the introduction of the 8 series back in the years 2017, 18, 19, and so on. We are currently this year planning to introduce a new category of devices. One which is called i.MX A2LP, really dedicated to address ultra low power applications thanks to its technology heterogeneous architecture combining M33 and A35, which are in fact cores that are really tied to address low power, and the newest family called i.MX 9 that will not replace the current one, but come as an addition to our device i.MX families by having additional assets that will address future shape of technology and feature sets that are currently more and more enabled on the market, such as the machine learning. Our devices are integrating neural processing units since a couple of time now with the 8M Plus that has been introduced 2 years ago, and we are continuing to enable this class of accelerators in our future i.MX 9 family. On top of that, i.MX 9.5 has been announced earlier this year and will become our flagship in a near term with additional assets that you can see in the bubble, such as functional safety, which is called FUSA, and as well additional capabilities in terms of computing power associated to the neural processing unit or the image sensor processor or the graphic processor unit that you can see in the green bubble. So let's have a look to the new i.MX 9.3 family that has been announced already a year ago and that will be introduced this year, or already introduced this year in pre-production, but will be fully introduced during November timeframe this year. i.MX 9.3 is a processor that embeds the different key blocks, IP blocks, allowing different type of functionalities. The one that you see on the top left is what we call edge lock secure enclave, which is an IP block that will be deployed in a very variety of devices that will allow, in fact, to address all the security transactions and functions and features that we will enable time to time in order to help our customers to have an easy access to security mechanisms, either to secure over the air the applications during the lifetime of the product, or to do some secure provisioning, or to make sure that when the system is up and running, it is done in a very secured way. Then, as I said, and this is what we started to introduce with A2LP, i.MX 9.3 will have an energy flex architecture capable to manage very complex use cases where you need ultra low power approach, but still having some requirements relative to processing power. As such, we are leveraging the Cortex M33 that is inside the processor to drive some activities completely independently to the applications, the Cortex-A side of the application processor. The energy flex architecture is something that is new compared to the previous generation, because this is something that relies on the different power domain inside the chip that allow customers to either use the M33 while the Cortex-A is completely off, in order to harvest the energy consumption and being able to optimize the power consumption of the applications. Scalable compute, because our devices are having multiple cores, and you can play with different number of cores in order to boost or manage in a reasonable way the computing performance of your system. And we have learned from the past that, okay, on the i.MX 6 series, we were very successful on the classical interfaces that we are offering to our customers, and we decided to continue this approach by offering essential connectivity attached to i.MX 9.3. Inherent intelligence means that, okay, this device embeds a neural processing unit, which is an IP coming from ARMS called Ethos U65 that will leverage optimum and efficient capabilities to address different models to drive machine learning system. And of course, we have different wide of different solutions relative to multisensory experiences that we called, tied to graphics or media, where we can leverage as well the integrated IP of the i.MX9 to address this class of functions. Of course, our processors are supported by a strong team of field application engineers associated to as well our partners and distributors to follow the development of our customers. So in a nutshell, if I can summarize 9.3 family market positioning, this is definitely a product that is general purpose approach in entry-level type of application processor applications, leveraging in fact efficiency architecture and capable to drive different type of applications and markets that can be industrial, consumer IoT, or automotive market, as this device will be qualified for automotive. And on top of that, we're introducing a new type of qualifications with i.MX9.3, which is the extended temperature grade that will allow customers to drive this device into a rugged environment and having capability to support extreme temperature between -40 plus to 125 degrees C. And of course, there is a rich set of interfaces such as a dual gigabit Ethernet supporting time-sensitive network called TSN, and this device is as well having some capabilities to drive HMI and audio type of requirements. So more or less, this is a device that can cover, the applications that the device can cover. Combining application requiring HMI support, application requiring to drive a complex network architecture, solutions that needs to run Linux, but not only. We are working as well with other OSs vendors such as VxWorks or Greenhill. We do support FreeRTOS on the M side of the device. We can combine this processor with a wide range of different additional components that we offer at NXP. Could be analog with the power management ICs that come with it. It could be sensors, could be Ethernet PHY, CAN PHY, or many others type of solutions such as wireless connectivity. All of these are equipped into our evaluation kit in order for customers to evaluate properly the complete set of solutions that NXP is capable to offer with well-suited software packages that can leverage all these functions. So here is an example of industrial and automation for building control, but we can as well support a different type of solution tied to vision application segment, as this device embed a MIPI CSI camera interface. And as I said, is coming nicely with other solutions such as connectivity type solutions. And this is a class of applications that are really suited for this application processor. But what is good is that we are not stopping from that point. We are as well offering, and this is something that has been announced at Computex this year in May, we are offering a path to go in terms of optimization of cost. For any customers who are looking for a wide range of solutions as a platform concept, these customers can use in a nice way i.MX processor in order to address different type of requirements, and always having the best optimum solutions in terms of cost structure. As such, we have announced and introducing i.MX9.1 that will come into full production next year, which is a processor that will be pin-to-pin compatible with the i.MX9.3. Side note about i.MX9.3, 9.3 is coming with 2 package flavors as well to address different type of solutions and functions. A 11 by 11 package and a 9 by 9 package. And i.MX 9.1 will come as well with two packages that will be pin-pin compatible with the one from i.MX 9.3. On top, these devices, when they are introduced into the market, are there for a minimum period of time of 15 years consecutive. This is something that is called product longevity programs that we are supporting at NXP. And you can see if you go to nxp.com all the different processors that are part of this program. And 9.3, 9.1 is of course part of this program and will be there at least for the next 2 decades, right? So in a nutshell, we are starting the new series of i.MX 9 introduction by the bottom side of the platform, of the product portfolio, that will complement, as I said, what we have currently introduced as a 64-bit architecture with the i.MX 8 series, which could be 8, 8M, 8M mini, 8M nano, 8M plus. i.MX 9.1, 9.3 will come on the bottom side of it. And we are preparing the path for as well addressing much more computing capable processor with the introduction of i.MX 9.5 that we announced back at CES this year to the market. So let's have a look at the 9.5. So 9.5, as I said in the introduction, is our future flagship i.MX processor capable to drive an extremely wide range of application type, which is computing intensive, and that will as well, in some cases, has the requirements to be safe. Okay, we are developing inside this i.MX 9.5 a Safe Assure framework in order to be compliant with ASIL-B and SIL 2 functional safety standard. Okay, we are able as well to go beyond that at system level, but of course it's highly dependent on the way the processor is architectured in the complete system solutions. On top of that, we are as well harvesting the capability of the neural processing unit accelerator that we started to introduce on our previous generation of processor, by integrating in the i.MX 9.5 what we call the NXP EIQ Neutron NPU, which is an internal IP that we are currently developing in order to really boost and accelerate any models that will need to require super nice compute capability and performance at the edge side of an application. So you can see in this introduction of i.MX 9.5 that again we are coming to complement our current portfolio, in this case from the top, in order to offer a performance path to our customers. And same as for the others, we are targeting a wide range of applications. This device will be automotive qualified. This device will be qualified for extended temperature range. So as I said, 100% duty cycle in the region of -40 to 125 degrees C. This device will have as well a multiple number of high throughput time sensitive network capabilities and high performance IOs to address quite complex system. This device will support NGC 4.0 automation. It can be used as well in IoT smart home appliance and office. And of course, the processor i.MX 9.5 will as well deliver much more performance on the graphics side, and will have, I would say, most powerful graphic processing units that we are integrating in our i.MX portfolio. So to run all of this, of course, we have to rely on a very solid software solutions. So NXP is, as in the past, really leveraging a lot of activities around software solutions that come with our hardware. We have built since now more than a decade unified NXP long-term Linux OS middleware support, so Linux BSP. Generally speaking, we are in fact choosing our Linux BSP versioning based on the long-term support that the community is offering, and as well based on what Google is choosing to address Android. Because we do support as well by default on all our processor embedding a graphic processing unit supporting OpenGLES, an Android OS version that are launched at the time of the product. Associated to that, as you have seen as well, we do embed Cortex-M core devices inside our processor, and as such, the M device is supported by what we call MCU Expresso tools and embedding a FreeRTOS to run on ARM. And we are as well developing more and more Zephyr solutions in order to as well address the upcoming trends relative to open source activity on that range. Associated to that, we embed as well and integrate a software enablement for our wireless radio stack, which could be Bluetooth Low Energy, Thread, Zigbee, Wi-Fi. So we have Wi-Fi 4, 5, 6, and different multi-protocol. These are common drivers and middleware that are packaged into our software solutions and that are running nicely on our evaluation kit hardware. Of course, we cannot support everything for everyone, and as such, we are relying as well on a lot of partners, such as Witekio, in order to address some special requirements or specialties associated to our ecosystem. So what is NXP Partner Program? The goal is, of course, to have a win-win approach in order to benefit to our customers, adding value through different matching products, a support infrastructure, and offering, I would say, a comprehensive ecosystem and solutions for different kind of customers. For NXP, the benefit is as well an opportunity to get some alignment on some roadmap and requirements, as well as feedback, to have a joint solutions to win new markets, as we rely as well on our expertise coming from partners and expertise coming from our customers, and to create, of course, additional lead creations in order to as well shape the future of NXP revenue and solutions. For the partner, the benefit is, of course, having a higher lead conversion probability because it will be advertised aside to NXP and have an increased business visibility thanks to that. And of course, with that, we are increasing the share of mind in the industry and beyond. In such a partner, we have different categories of membership level. So we start from the left, from the right, sorry, which is called the Registered Partner Program. So this is something that showcase companies that are working with NXP that have demonstrated a kind of commitment to support NXP products and as well a commitment to drive some sales activities with us. This is something that has been, in fact, there was a due diligence from NXP in order to integrate a potential partner in the Registered Partner Program. Then we have a second level called the Gold Partner, which is something that showcase a kind of recognitions in terms of activities that the partner has made with us. So it's recognize some leaders in their market segments and demonstrate a strong strategic alignment between, of course, the partner and NXP, right? So a Gold Partner contribute a lot about NXP product and positioning, and of course, in terms of activities. Last but not least, we are as well going to a Platinum Partner. So this is a more, I would say, reduced number of company that showcase, demonstrate an exceptional long-term strategic, I would say, approach and value with NXP. So all in all, you are able to really quickly identify through NXP.com in the partner webpage with whom we are working with and what level of partners you can foresee, right? And of course, you can, as a company or a system solution provider, address and become a member partner. So here is a nutshell, a short overview on how to become and apply to the NXP Partner Program. You will get the slides and will be able to click on the link in order to start the process if you wish to become an NXP partner. Now, let me pass over to Pierre Gall, who will present you Witekio and their offering and why long-term maintenance is so important.
Let's continue with the long-term software support. We will talk about CVE, about how we can manage software at the long term, and we will focus that on i.MX processors. I am Pierre Gall. I am Solution Director at Witekio, and I help customers to build their solution based on embedded software and connected equipment. We'll first introduce Witekio, then we will continue with why doing this type of long-term maintenance, and then we will go into detail with the key concepts, definition, CVE, LTS, and then a better definition of how it could work and how it could apply to i.MX families. At Witekio, we design, build, and run edge-to-cloud platform, edge-to-cloud solution. We are working on a lot of different type of product, a lot of different type of project for customers that would like to develop their solution. We are working on different size of project and also different vertical market from B2C to B2B product in special vehicles, medical environments, home automation solution. All of these products can be based on different type of solution, and we are working a lot with i.MX series from NXP. We have done a lot of project on i.MX 6, i.MX 8, and start working with the new i.MX 9 now. Today we will talk about long-term maintenance. So let's start by an introduction on why this long-term maintenance is so important in the life cycle of the development of a product. We have to understand that more and more the equipment we are doing are part of a global system. On the left side, you have the equipment, the devices you are doing. That could be a high-end device based on i.MX 8, for example, or low-end based on i.MX 30 microcontroller. These equipment are potentially connected to a central platform, to some dedicated business applications that can be used by external users. It could be weight solution, it could be cloud mobile solution. And in a lot of different scenarios, this internal IoT system is connected directly to the internal tools of OEMs. That could be ERP, that could be industrial tools. So you have your equipment directly or indirectly connected to the global IT and OT ecosystem of different type of OEM and company. That's why it's key today to ensure that there is no vulnerabilities available on the equipment you are delivering to your final customer. What are the challenges with this maintenance? I think OEM are looking for a methodology, a tooling, something that will help to create a maintenance for their Linux-based solution. So we will talk about CVE and LTS. I will describe in the coming slide what does that really means. We will talk about NXP-based solution. Our customers are always expected a flexible version for their kernel, for the Yocto, but we will see that there is some constraint if you want to do a good long-term maintenance. And a lot of our customers are thinking about a platforming approach. That means having multiple products based on the same code, on the same kernel, on the same Yocto, on the same Linux solution to optimize the cost. The problem, customer or our OEM have not always qualified methodology nor a team made that could help internally to create and to do this long-term maintenance approach. And more of the time, the OEM really would like to concentrate on the more added value features, creating new feature, create additional value, and long-term maintenance is something that is not perceived yet as added value feature for the product. So what they are expecting as a benefit for them if we are able to provide a long-term methodology for the maintenance, focusing on higher added value activities, ensure the performance and the quality of the product on a very long range, and be sure to use state-of-the-art methodology, toolings, way of doing for their long-term maintenance. Let's start now with some definition. We are always talking about secure by design. Even if secure by design is not part of the long-term maintenance, it's a key topic because you cannot ensure long-term maintenance cybersecurity oriented if you are not designing a solution that integrates cybersecurity in the DNA. Secure by design is not the topic of our today webinar, but it's something mandatory to ensure the long-term maintenance. We have a lot of different activity, and we will not enter in the detail of all of that. But for example, on i.MX 8, you can easily design your secure boot solution to ensure to only boot the software you as OEM are providing to the materials. You can integrate containerization, you can integrate different type of security in the connectivity. You have huge and dozens solutions of the security you can integrate in your system. The most important is to first analyze what you want to protect against, and then integrate the appropriate security solution in your system. Today we will more focus on long-term maintenance, and when we are talking about long-term maintenance, we are talking about LTS version. LTS means long-term support. You probably already heard about that. If we are talking, for example, here you have the Yocto version, the kernel version. They are providing a long-term version support. This long-term support are some specific version, and we always recommend to use this specific version that will offer to you between 3 and 4 years of maintenance, for example, for the kernel, for your system. So that means during all the maintenance time of your software you are using, you will be sure to get the latest patches against new vulnerabilities, patches in regard of bugs that are discovered. So we definitely recommend at Witekio to always use LTS version for Yocto, for the kernel, but more or less for all the software layers you are using in your system to ensure this possibility to upgrade and to fix the issue discovered all along the life cycle of your project and your product maintenance. The second key topic is about CV. CV, you may not know this this information. CV means common vulnerabilities exposures. It's a list. The CVs are a list of known vulnerabilities for all software packages all over the world. They are centralized in some global database like NIST, for example. They are identified by a unique identifier that will help you to manage the CV and understand well how it's working. You will have a key information about the type of weakness this vulnerability is. For example, here we have an improper input validation, so that means maybe you can be able to exploit this non-validated input to create different type of attack to the system. And then you will find additional information about these vulnerabilities. An additional information that could really make sense is about the historical, when it has been created, what it has been modified, reviewed. It's important to not only validate and check the past CV, but also being able to review as soon as CV have been updated with additional information, new information. Let's continue to deep into this CV. So here we are using the same CV. You can find some additional description about the system, about the vulnerabilities, and you understand that in the Blue Z stack we have a way to take a higher privilege role if we can use these vulnerabilities. You will then continue digging into the CV and being able to find different information. Some CV are associated with exploit, so a way to use the vulnerabilities in the system. And you will find different type of code over internet to understand how it works, how it could be used for hacking the device. So that's not for all CV that you will find this type of information, but for some of them, you will be able to find a lot of detail about how to use, how to fix, how to exploit the vulnerabilities that is associated to your system. Another key topic for long-term maintenance is about software bill of material. What we are talking when we are talking about software bill of material, we are talking about the list of all software components included into your system. Why it's a key topic? Because if you want to know the list of CV applicable to your system, you need to know the list of software library, software package that is integrated into your Linux system, for example. So if you are able to find a really detailed list of all the software you have with all the detailed version you have for all the package included into your Linux image, you are able to really have a detailed list of CVE applicable to your system. That's a key topic, but the problem is how to generate it, how to generate an accurate software bill of material. At Witekio, for Yocto, we have developed our own tool to create an accurate version of the software bill of material, including, for example, the detailed kernel of configuration, which is not the case of the default tools provided with Yocto. Next, so we know what is key, having a long-term support to ensure to have a maximum of fix into your software. You know what is a CV, you know how you can generate this CV list from a software bill of material. Let's now understand the applicability of a CV, because sometimes you will have potential false positive. Your target component, for example, is not really in your system, so depending on the accuracy of your software bill of material. Sometimes there is no attack solution. That means there is a vulnerabilities, but in regard of how your system is configured or how the CV is detailed, there is maybe no way to exploit this interface. Sometimes a CV can be applicable, but they have no real impact on the product. And sometimes you just didn't know. There is maybe no exploit detail, so you don't really know the detail of how you can exploit it. Maybe nobody can, maybe some. You have maybe not enough detail to know about. So when you are doing your maintenance process, it's key to analyze for the different CV what are the risks and the different possibility this CV can be used for hacking your solution. And at Witekio, we are doing this type of activity with our customers to understand the different impact of their potential vulnerability on the system. What's Yocto and kernel maintenance look like when you are in a cruising mode? At Witekio, we have designed a solution based in 3 different timelines. The first one is daily, weekly, or monthly basis. It will be the CV monitoring. So you run a full generation of software bill of material. Then you extract the associated CV based on different CV database, like NIST database. And then you perform this analysis saying, okay, this CV is applicable, this one is not. For this one, we don't know. With a different type of risk, different level of risk. And you need to be able to analyze the impact of a CV on your system. On a second time, probably more quarterly basis, you will have to move from LTS minor update to the next LTS minor update to ensure to integrate all the fixes available. And then every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, depending once again of your way of doing, you have to move from the current LTS to the next LTS version. You need to move from an LTS to the next one when you want to really ensure a very long-term support. For example, if you, as we are doing for medical devices, like something like 15 years of maintenance, you cannot use only one LTS version. You will have to move from the first one to the second one to the next one to ensure a very long-term maintenance. How this maintenance process is integrated into the development, and we have developed a full methodology for that. Here is just an extract that describes the fact that you can continue to perform your development. As an OEM, you want to create new features, you want to integrate new functionalities into your system, while in parallel, you want to provide maintenance updates on the field and integrate CVE fix, minor Yocto and kernel update or package update. Here is an example of how you can create your first release, start a maintenance branch, continue your development on your main development branch, and then sometimes remerge to propose new releases. All of this maintenance process really makes sense if you are able to provide automated tooling on top of it. So how to build, how to run the analysis, how to test automatically the impact of the patch that have been applied for new CVE or with new Linux minor or major updates. And that needs a specific what we call DevOps platform that will be key to ensure the appropriate efficiency in your maintenance process. So this is our reference platform, how we are building with our customer a solution to ensure this long-term maintenance. On the left side, you have your Yocto kernel BSP source code that are managed in a Git repository. In the middle of the schema, you have the building process with SonarQube analysis for the source code and also a way to generate the system. So we are here in the CI part with the CV scanner that will generate the software bill of material, including the kernel configuration detail. On the right part, you have the way you are doing the analysis. So CV scan will use the Cyclone DX software bill of material to generate the report, but it will also use notes, some annotation you have from the previous scan. So in our methodology, you perform a first scan, you annotate all the different CVE that have been identified, saying, okay, this one is vulnerable, this one is not vulnerable, this one we don't really know, so we always configure as vulnerable. And then, scan after scan, you only have to add new analysis on the new CVE or on the modified CVE. As explained at the beginning, sometimes CVE have been updated, you have new information, maybe a new exploit, and you need to reanalyze it. And our CV scan tool is able to take the previous analysis you have done, take the current software bill of material, and generate a report based on that to create a final report for the current time, for the current version of your solution. On top of that, you find an automated testing tool. So we at Witekio design Pluma for this automated testing of a Linux platform. And it helps to be efficient in the validation of your new release. So as soon as you integrate a new CVE fix, a new LTS patches or new features, running an automated validation process will be key to ensure that you have no major regression in your system. We can spend hours talking about this interface, this platform, and don't hesitate to ask questions if you have on this platform. CV scan, the tools is a key topic in this long-term maintenance process. So that's why we have developed our own tools. It will be able to first detect the vulnerabilities applicable to your system. So from the dedicated software bill of materials that we generate, including the detailed kernel configuration, we are able to extract the list of real applicable CV with a limited number of false positives. Then you are able to analyze this list of CV. You can do that for sure on your side. We can help you with our long-term maintenance process and do this famous annotation to refine the result of this CV analysis, saying, okay, for this one, we consider not vulnerable because we don't have, I don't know, this type of Wi-Fi interface. So you can whitelist different vulnerabilities, or you can add some additional information like, okay, we are vulnerable at this one because we are sure that we are not able to close this port through the firewall or something like that. At the end, it's important to be able to monitor this type of activity. So you have some interesting dashboard that could make sense to understand the number of new CV, how you are able to manage at the long term this different CV, and finally trace all your cybersecurity activity. Let's now conclude. I think cybersecurity is something that has to be managed all along the project life cycle. So we are talking for sure about long-term maintenance today, but as I say at the very beginning of the webinar, talking about secure by design and having the appropriate methodology of secure development is also a key topic to ensure the cybersecurity of your system. CV follow-up is something mandatory during the long-term maintenance. We have seen that you can create a DevOps platform that helps you to do that automatically. You can use appropriate tools for doing that. You can optimize your process by sharing this analysis between different projects, between different platforms. The most important is to take time to do this preview, to analyze the different CV that is applicable to the system, and ensure that you have no potential easy exploit to your system. CV, the CV system is a virtuous community process between users and developers, because everybody can share a CV as soon as it has been discovered. But that make a huge community of users that can share vulnerabilities. But that also means that as it is public, hackers also have this CV list available. So as soon as an exploit is available in a dedicated CV with some example and so on, all hackers can have access to this information very easily. So that makes this CV fix mandatory, and CV analysis and maintenance process really mandatory for everybody now, because hackers can have access to easy information to exploit the system. To go further, we also recommend to monitor new technology, new framework, new version, continue to ensure that even if you have long-term maintenance on the project, you are able to understand what are the new technology, what are the new framework, the new information you can find about the technology you are using, and maybe perform some upgrade of your system when it becomes really mandatory, really important. Another interesting topic, we have not talked about penetration testing, but when you are in a project life cycle, just before delivering your product, you are usually doing penetration testing or what we call bug bounty during the life cycle of the project. So you can ask for external team, external person to search for bug and vulnerabilities into your system. There is new way of thinking with iteration penetration testing, because penetration testing methodology are moving all along the time. So maybe it could make sense to do a new penetration testing every 2 years during the life cycle of your project. Thank you for your attention.